What's going on, YouTubers? For ladies and gentlemen, it's the natural thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from October 10th, October 7th, 2021, at the Skyway Studios in Nashville, Tennessee. Your commentators were not Matt Striker and D'Lo Brown. Instead, it was Josh Matthews and D'Lo Brown. Whoopee. But it didn't hurt the show for me. Speaking of which, this was more building up pertains to Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory that's continuing on. And also this was the Go Home Show edition for the Knockouts pertains to on Impact Plus. That's gonna be on Saturday. The Impact Knockouts Knockdown for 2021. And we'll get to those few build-ups pertains to the whole thing. Except for one thing that I didn't care for, but we'll get to it. Let me first bring something up, folks. What pertains to the Impact Digital Media Championship Tournament, it's been going on before the Impact. I'm assuming it did or not. I really don't care. Yeah, John Skyler defeating Ziggy Dites. That was back on October 5th. And yeah, Chrissy Steve defeating Hernandez on October 6th. And 4 more will be announced. To be announced. So there you go. But the opening match was trying to make sure this is the right one. Alright, okay, it was the opening match. I thought the other match was the opening match, but the opening match was the Bullet Club of Chris Bay, Hikuleo, and El Phantasmo versus Finjuice of David Finlay and Juice Robinson and Chris Sabin. So they had a match. It was ended up being a pretty decent 6-man tag team match, with Bullet Club winning. Obviously they cheated. Hikuleo distracting the referee. El Phantasmo with a low blow to Chris Sabin. Chris Bay hits the Art of Finesse and gets the win. Bullet Club wins, and there you go. And again, it was a decent match. Both sides looked good, but in the end, only one had to win, and that was Bullet Club. And by the way, you had the Good for Nothing brothers watching on this match, because I think they're supposed to be going up against Finjuice at Bound for Glory, I guess. I don't know. So I didn't care. Apparently they're still on vacation. Just Alexander, I think he was being in the interview. If I recall, he says the Impact World Champion Christian Cage will find out what's going to happen to him at Bound for Glory when they team up against Ace Austin and MMA Fulton in the main event. And there you go. Not much to say. Also, get Heath coming out. He's all excited and all that. And the crowds were excited for him too as well. And basically, he says, he wants to address Rhino, his longtime best friend. And that's basically what this whole thing is going to be about. First of all, he says, it's great to be back. And he says, also, it's great for all you to be back too. Because remember, when he was in Impact Wrestling, no fans, unfortunately. So now that and basically he talks about for him being hurt around Bound for Glory and him being going away, and now with him coming back, which perfect timing, which is the fans being back too and all. is a blessing in disguise at the end of the day. And the crowds were loving Heath, by the way, So, so he's talking about that and talks about how he lost his friend along the way, which, he makes Rhino. He says, the Rhino that I know, this ain't the Rhino that he knows. And basically he wants to Rhino to come out so that they can address this whole situation. All of a sudden, Vibe by Design comes out. Eric Young says that Rhino is the Rhino that is dead. The Rhino that you once known is no longer here. Right? So Eric Young basically tells him, tell Heath that he's a sickness that needs to be cured, or whatever, in a way. But it's Vibe by Design. And basically tells Heath to leave the ring, or else. And he says, he's not backing down and all that. So he starts fighting them. Obviously, the numbers game would have got the best of them. And crowds cheering for Rhino, but no Rhino to be found of any kind. And basically they left Heath laid out. Everyone with the flag, and that was it. Now we're gonna see more of these cliffhangers about what's going on with Rhino. What's the deal with Rhino? Will he eventually team up with Heath to go up against Vibe by Design, leave the Battle Grave? I believe so. You just wait and see how that plays out. So, by the way, it was good. I love how they all did this. Gia Miller, she interviews Willie Mack and Rich Swann. Basically, the soldiers. Basically, Willie Mack addresses the whole X Division Championship tournament that he's going to be part of next week. Pertains to go up against Raid Rajul and El Phantasmo. And Ziggy Dice and Manny Lemons, excuse me, of the Learning Tree, they basically approached them and basically interrupts and all that. Basically challenge them to a tag team match. And also, they address to Brian Myers and the rest of the Learning Trees. The Learning Tree, I should say. That they're gonna be in a tag team match, and are you gonna be on side, right? And Brian Myers says, nope, me and VSK are gonna be in our trucks, whatever it's like that. Have some, some kind of food, whatever they would have, to order, whatever. And then Sam Beal is joins along with them, say basically good to you guys, out there, and everything. Basically, they're left high and dry by the Learning Tree as they go to their private van or express wherever on their ride or whatever. Basically owned by Brian Myers. Well, Ziggy Dice and Many Lemons gets handle this on their own, so gotta do it on their own. Just saying. Lady Frost teamed up with Randy Lauren and Kimberly, which is an odd pairing because Lady Frost, I don't know why she's teaming up with these two. I understand the booking of this, but they go up against Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, and Mercedes Martinez. Yes. And basically all these women's in this match, returns to a 6-woman tag team match. But basically all these women's are going to be part of this Knockdown tournament, where the winner of this match gets to the opportunity for the Impact Knockouts Championship title, in the future. And Mercedes Martinez is a part of that match. But in the meantime, we get to this match, and I thought this match was decent. Minus the whole thing of Randy Lauren, and Kimberly being the bridesmaids. At one point, you had Tasha Steelz, in the ring with Randy Lauren. She's doing this, and all I can think about is, "'Cause this is Thriller night." That's what she's doing. She was doing the Thriller. Yeah, which I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, in the end, basically, Savannah and Tasha was getting on the nerves of Mercedes Martinez. That they kept tagging themselves in the match and attacking Martinez in the match. She wanted to work too and all. She did eventually get worked, and and then realizing that she wasn't legal in the match because Touch Steel is still legal, and then she capitalized on the whole thing. I believe it was Brandy Lauren or Kimberly that lost. I can't remember who it was, but oh yeah, it was Kimberly. Okay, Kimberly, which is fine. And Mercedes Martinez and Touch Steel's having little exchange of words, and then Savannah Evans gets in there. Basically not even much happened except for one thing that did happen, which I'll get to right now. All right. So also we get Alisha Edwards coming out and attacking the undead bridesmaids of Kimberly and Brandy Lauren with the candlestick. Kendra. The whole thing with Kenny the candlestick. Well, this is Kendra the candlestick. Only difference is that Kendra the candlestick is a female candlestick. So yeah, Kimberly and Brandy Lauren were attacked by Alisha Edwards. I was thinking to myself, why? And then all of a sudden, because of the whole Stringerella that was taken by Brandy Lauren and Kimberly, basically she was killed. And Alisha Edwards found out, I guess she found out about it, I guess, whatever. And she went after them. And I say to myself, again, who gives a fuck? Why? Because if Alisha Edwards should be angry about something, it's about what happened with Eddie Edwards. Alisha Edwards' husband. After what happened with the whole thing with W. Morrissey and Moose. Shouldn't she be going after them with the candlesticks? But I guess we have to build up knockdown first before we get to Alisha Edwards getting revenge. If she could try to get revenge on Moose and W. Morrissey next week on Impact Wrestling. I don't know if that's gonna be the case or not, but yeah, but I guess she just got to get revenge first for for one of the Stringerellas that were taken by the undead bridesmaids first. Stupid. Now that the sirens pass by. Also, Mr. Edwards is I forgot to mention too, by the way. We actually curious come out there, by the way, to break it up, and then we get back to from commercial where she's being held back by securities and all that, and then security starts running away because she still had the candlestick, even though the candlestick was taken away from her, or I don't know. I'm all I remember is that the candlestick was not in her hands when she was taken away. When she was at the impact zone. But now also backstage, also she got the candlestick in her hand, like. So Alisha Edwards cuts a promo about what Kimberly did, because she led the charge. So Gail Kim walks up to her, and basically she saw what she did and all that, but she she doesn't fault her for what she did, but at the same time she can't be doing that and getting out of control. So she suggests one thing: at Knockdown, it's going to be Alisha Edwards, Kimberly, Savannah Evans, and Jordan Grace, in the honor of Daphne, to be in the Monsters Ball match. Oh yeah, the same Monsters Ball match that Daphne was in, where she refused to do the that spot, even though I'm not fault Gail Kim with this one. I'm not gonna fault Gail Kim with this one, but basically the same Monsters Ball that is what got Daphne hurt in the first place. And they promised to take care of that situation during the time when Taylor, Terry Taylor meant to say, Terry Taylor, the fucking rooster, was going to take care of that whole situation, but then is going back on his words on that, and then continue having her wrestle, and having wrestled to an inexperienced wrestler, what was her name, Rosie Lovelot, and got hurt. But Daphne was in the Monsters Ball match before, And hell, I guess she made a difference during that time, right? But at the same time, I'm not gonna, you know, because when I heard that, I like, it just got me thinking and reminding myself about how poorly this company has treated Daphne. Now, it wasn't on the managements from from now that did this to Daphne. It was the management from during that time, like a Dixie Carter, like I said with Terry Taylor, Vince Russo, and whoever have you that was was involved of Daphne of Daphne getting hurt in the first place, and sure really helped her. Otherwise, she would not be in the she would never been in the position that she was in until her death. But we'll see how this match turns out. Hopefully, there'll be no ball wires for these ladies to fall onto and get a concussion. But I digress. I shouldn't be I shouldn't be harsh on this, by the way, because there was other muscle balls we had with knockouts before. So and on top of that, they're not gonna do the spot where they did with what they did with Daphne years ago. So I shouldn't be having that type of attitude. So I apologize for that, folks. I just miss Daphne. That's shit. She should still be here. So yeah, in a way, this Monster Ball match will be in the honor of Daphne. Now we get to the Knockout Tag Team Champions hijacking the show of the Influence. It's all about me. Whoever show. I didn't care for the show. Yes, you had Decay of Rosemary and Harry there, but not even not even with them. As entertaining they could be, couldn't make me pay attention to this it's all about me of the Influence. Excuse me. So after saying Moose and AOS to the hospital, retains to Moose and Semi Calhoun and AOS being sent to the hospital, meant to say, by Moose and W. Morrissey. They decided to add something to the choreographed gauntlet match at Bound for Glory. And basically, Moose and W. Morrissey let them know each other that if they were cross paths, or last two in the ring, they'll basically kick each other's asses. That was basically it. Now, obviously, I believe it was gonna be a match too. By the way, I just don't know how they're gonna play this out. Maybe he will be in it. Maybe he won't be in it. Who knows? Based on how they did the whole beat down on Eddie Edwards, especially how Moose did it, wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't show up there. But I think he will show up. Doesn't mean I want him to win though. He already had a shot. He had his opportunity. He won that before. Don't let him win that again. Give it to someone else, like a Moose. Just saying. And also, I can't wait to see who else is gonna be in the match too. It could be someone from Japan, AEW, Triple A. Those three promotions right now, because they're promising wrestlers from those promotions to come to Bound for Glory. Will it happen? First of all, not gonna fall for it. You may have fooled me once last year. Shame on you. You may have fooled me twice, which is just Scammiversary. Shame on you. Shame on me, meant to say. Basically, which is last year's Scammiversary, which I should have called it Scammiversary at the time. Shame on you. Which is fooled me twice this year with this year's Scammiversary. Shame on me. But with this Bound for Glory, you ain't getting me again. So I will not say anything, and not make any any excitement of when I do the preview of it when it comes. I'll believe it when I see it of who's gonna show up to make my my excitement worthwhile. But I digress. Black Taurus versus Steve Macklin versus Pete Williams in the X Division title tournament once again. And like the one from last week, this was pretty good too. Black Taurus show how good he is. Steve Macklin is pretty good. Pete Williams has always been good. These guys were killing it. Were flat out killing it, man. They were expense, in this match. So we get to the tail end of the match here where, Pete Williams tried to go for the Canadian Destroyer on, Black Taruso, before, but too big to do it, and I guess it wasn't around the right time yet. But yeah, a lot of good moves in the match too. Especially for Steve Macklin doing the Olympic Slam onto Pete Williams. Back to Taurus, the way he just dove over the top onto, I believe it was Steve Macklin. And then what he did to Pete Williams, with Sensors counter, go to the top rope and then go for the headbutt to Pete Williams. And he got Pete Williams doing his thing, and then he finally hits the Canadian Destroyer onto Black Taurus, and then also Steve Macklin goes right after Pete Williams and gets him the manhand for all, and gets the win. I kind of knew he was gonna win, Steve Macklin, because he's getting the push, and he's on a roll right now. And this is what the way he's been missing out on when Jason's not pushing someone like a Steve Macklin. Just saying. So yeah, he's going places now, and to be honest with you, he's my pick to win, to become X Division champion. But again, we'll get to the preview of that when we get close to Battle for Glory. The Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels, interrupts Christian Cage's interview, basically letting him know that when the time is right, he wants to go after Christian Cage for the Impact World title. However, I don't think it's gonna be Christian Cage. I think it's gonna be against Josh Alexander. But basically Christopher Daniels says doesn't matter if it's gonna be Impact Wrestling or the AEW, he wants to go after that title. Because obviously Christian Cage, being on both shows on AEW, because he is part of All Elite Wrestling, and with being the Impact World Champion, he's obligated to be part of Impact Wrestling shows as well. Unlike a certain Kenny Omega. Just saying. But I digress. But yeah, what Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, is basically leaving the challenge of being the next contender for the Impact World title. A title that he should have held years ago. Just saying. Then we get to Swingers Palace, rotates to shutting down Swingers Palace. Hernandez backing up. Johnny, Swingers Palace, is backing up. Get this two what's left of the Swingerellas there. Fallout Bob walks in, who's supposed to be banned, but he shows up and all that. I don't know. They show a picture of Dixie Carter. Basically, Hernandez had a picture of Dixie Carter. And I said to myself, why? And then at the end of the segment, there was another picture that was shown too. I think it was by Johnny Bravo. It was It was basically a wallpaper to, I believe it was like a peer review that basically Jeff Jarrett was on there, by the way. I said to myself, why? The same Jeff Jarrett is trying to sue Impact Wrestling for whatever fucking reason he's trying to sue Impact Wrestling for. They want to show Jeff Jarrett, a poster of Jeff Jarrett. Really? It's his fucking fault that Impact Wrestling doesn't have an identity, which is having the initials. Because the original, because with Jeff Jarrett coming in, those supposed to be called GFW, Global Force Wrestling. So to at least give an identity for Impact Wrestling, instead of just be called Impact Wrestling, because Impact Wrestling is supposed to be a TV wrestling show that we watch. But now it's a promotion's name and a TV show's name. But basically, yeah, it was good because the TNA initials was no longer around until Non-Stop Action. That's no longer around, unfortunately. That's dead, according to Bruce Pritchard when he came back in 2017. Fuck you, Bruce Pritchard. But So it was around that, but it was basically around that year that GW, Global Force, GFW, meant to say Global Force Wrestling was supposed to be the new Impact Wrestling, but the Jeff Jarrett fucked it up. Alright, it's a long story already. I'll maybe eventually I will tell you that story about how Jeff Jarrett fucked it up for Impact Wrestling to have an identity. But anyways, did I though, or was it? I'll double check it later. Which is my playlist, but I digress. But yeah, that was that segment though. Yes, the two things I didn't like about the segment was that they show a picture of Dixie Carter, who's a failure, and she's the reason why that this company is where it's at right now. And they got Jeff Jarrett, where he's is to blame of what happened in 2017 as well. The Larry Tree, Ziggy Dice and Manny Lemons, they went up against Rich Swann and way back the Soldiers. The match was alright. But we all know who's going to win this one. It was Rich Swann and way back the Soldiers. After the match though, Brian Myers, VSK, Sam Beals, they all blindsided Rich Swann. And there you go. You got basically that one up on them, I guess. Whatever. The hell? Give me one more, folks. Alright. Alright, I apologize for that, folks. It was a little messed up situation here with the notes. So also let me get to GM Miller, who's outside of Scott D'Amore's office, where it pertains to the situation that he's taking care of with Deon Broswell after what she did to Mickie James. Also, let me see Mickie James from behind GM Miller going into the office, and she went right after Deon Broswell, which by the way, you had Gil Kim there too, by the way, and you have Matthew Rayroll, who's there on behalf of Deon Broswell. And basically we get a pull apart. Basically, Scott D'Amore announced that there will be a no contact clause between both women. Mickie James, if you put your hands on Deon Broswell, you will lose your opportunity of the Knockouts title at Bound for Glory. And as Deon Broswell's laughing, well, same goes to you, Deon Broswell, because if you lay your hands on Mickie James, you'll be stripped of the Knockouts title. And then Gail Kim, is just trying to make peace because Mickie James is still trying to go after Deon Broswell, and then Gail Kim, say, well, here's the thing, to make you both women feel better about this whole situation, you're gonna be in the pick your poison match, where Deon Broswell is gonna pick up opponent for Mickie James to face, and Mickie James has got an opponent to pick for Deon Broswell to face, and it's gonna start with Deon Broswell first at Knockdown, Knockouts Knockdown. So, and that was it. And obviously, Deon Broswell saying it's been a conspiracy against me since day one, since coming to the company and everything. And I said to myself, that's a story that they're going with, and I don't agree with that story because that is not the case at all. Maybe at time. And I'll get to the preview after the review. So, Impact World Champion Christian Cage and Josh Alexander versus Ace Austin and Batman Fulton in the match I thought was pretty damn good. And you had the teams of Josh Alexander and Christian Cage. Look at they wasn't being a cohesive unit, but they ended up working together at the end. And then you had Christian Cage, basically going for attacking himself in the match, with Josh Alexander had no idea that happened. and Christian Cage, basically, Josh Alexander hits him with the chaos theory, German suplex, and Christian Cage gets is awesome as he gets back on his feet into the kill switch and gets the win, for the cover. And Josh Alexander was not was not pleased about what happened there, and basically Christian Cage gives him a handshake, and Josh Alexander pulls him back, and then they have a little words exchange for a little bit, and then Christian Cage gives him a pat on the shoulder over, and then leaves, and Josh Alexander just stands in the ring, looking dejected, and that was it. And that will conclude your edition of Impact Wrestling, for this go home show edition for the Knockouts, which is to Impact Knockouts Knockdown. Tomorrow Wrestling with 5 matches. In my overall rating for the show, I'm going to give it I guess I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. So there you go. I enjoyed the show for what it was. It was a good show. Minus some things I didn't like about the show, but other than that, I thought it was still a good show. So that being said, thank you all for watching. For It's the Natural Thriller, saying peace on the streets for all you to stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself and that's going on in the world. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, get vaccinated, love one another, God bless one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. For I am out here. Ta-ta for now, and no, I'm not gonna scare you with anything else anymore. For I am Natural Scary Thriller.